What did you make of the occasion today? Did it feel like the club was back?
It did, I thought the occasion was fantastic. The energy, the support, the crowd, the buzz, even outside the stadium when I came in about an hour and a quarter before, it was absolutely buzzing. And you could see that the supporters, all the executive, I think everyone was just happy to be back in the Premier League. A bit disappointing, I think, in terms of the result. It took away a little bit from my point of view from the occasion, but still, the most important thing is we are back in the Premier League and competing where we belong.
When you took the club back over, was this the day you envisaged?
No, I think it was. I think that we did give some, if I can call it, promises to the supporters that there was going to be a kind of threefold approach. The first one was last season to make sure that we got out of the Championship back into the Premier League. This year it's about being back in the Premier League and making the increased investment in the squad, which we've done. We've very substantially increased investment in the squad to make sure that we compete this year. And the intention is to compete for the Premier League this year. And then phase 3 next year is hopefully to be back in Europe, and then scale up the investment again so that we also are competitive at the European level.
Have you been happy with the business you've managed to do this summer?
Yeah, I have been. Today's the first chance I've seen some of the new players, but we've obviously got a high level of confidence and trust in Mark and Frank McParland and Davy from last year. They brought in a lot of players. They all played very, very well. So we're quite optimistic. The level of business they've been able to do, they brought in players who we think will compete at the level they have to this season, over the course of the season.
Can the fans expect any more players in before the end of the transfer window?
I would be surprised if we didn't have someone coming in between now. There's a couple we're working on, and I think we should have someone come in before the end of the transfer window. And we're also keeping our options open for the January transfer window so that we can kind of reassess the position in December, see where we are, and if necessary, we might also do some business in January as well.
You said the idea was to compete in this league. Are you thinking that this team is capable of winning the league?
I think it is capable of winning the league. Obviously the resources Celtic have got in their squad are far greater than Rangers, but they've got resources really intended to compete in Europe. We're not at that level yet, but having said that, I do think that we can challenge Celtic this season.
What challenges off the pitch do you expect this season?
Off the pitch this season, it's a lot less than it was last season. I think there's still some tidying up in some of the commercial issues. I think a lot of it's been dealt with in the public. But I think the club is in far more control of the situation relative to where we were even 3 months ago. So I'm quite confident within a relatively short period of time we'll also the commercial picture fully under control as well. And then that at least is probably the kind of last aspect of the old regime that I think is still causing us complications in terms of going forward and with a clean slate. So if we can deal with that over the next couple of months, at least we can finally put that one to bed.
Do you expect a resolution quite soon?
I would say within weeks or months, but I certainly don't see us sitting here this time next year having a similar conversation.
The independent report into the Scottish Cup final came out yesterday. You've made a statement. What do you feel about that going forward now?
I think the club is very disappointed with the report. I think we've made an initial statement already where we said there's some inaccuracies and inconsistencies in the report that we're surprised by. And I think from the club's point of view, what is absolutely essential for us is that there is recognition as to what actually happened on the day. And I think those who contributed to the chaos and the unwanted position, I think must recognise and hold their hands up. And if they don't do that, we're also not going to get a resolution to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So we're absolutely determined there should be recognition as to what actually happened, and a way forward to make sure it doesn't happen again. And we feel at this stage that report certainly doesn't achieve that.